morning.
I thought it, well, I was like, okay, getting ready. And then I was just like, oh no, I feel it welling up.
Well, that's a hell of a way to introduce the show.
No, it's a fresh countdown.
Okay. 5, 4, 3.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show on the internet that asks the question that matters. Are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? With you as always, co-host and voice of the show, I am Jake. With me as always, co-host extraordinaire and the only man everyone must be aware of. He's mean, he's nasty, and he hates everything to do with Christmas. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
Fuck Christmas.
What's that from? What did I steal that from?
Probably Grinch or some shit.
Close. Rudolph. When Sam the Snowman, the narrator's talking about the abominable snow monster, the Bumble.
Oh, so I'm the Bumble?
He's mean. He's nasty. And he hates everything to do with Christmas.
Christmas is overrated.
Just over commercialized, bastardized.
Absolutely. I agree with the Bumble.
That's right.
I'm doing great.
Doing great?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
You know what? Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve, everyone.
Not everyone, but yeah.
You know who you are. They don't listen to the show.
No.
So everyone listening, Merry Christmas Eve as this episode drops.
And what are we doing?
Well, we are doing a Christmas movie by Podcast Mom Request. And she makes us food, so she kind of controls things. We will be looking at 2022's Violent Night.
David Harbour.
Right, not the one with not Santa's sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
That's next Christmas. Or Silent Night, Deadly Night. We can do that next Christmas.
Oh, I have plans for next Christmas. And it's worse than either of those.
Sounds great. I'm in.
If we're still around another year.
We'll get canceled.
Or give up.
Or both.
Speaking of giving up and being canceled, below the description of this episode, you should see 2 links. One will take you to our bingo board pages, so make sure you pick one out and play bingo with us, and then let us know in the comment if you win. But there's a new link, a merchandise link. That's right, baby. Your favorite movie podcast has become your favorite stop for merchandise. Shirts, hats, hoodies. There's a coat, I think. All kinds of fun things. And plenty more on the way, I assure you. So make sure you stop and grab your favorite podcast shirt. Favorite podcast, favorite shirt, favorite podcast, favorite. Wait.
Yes.
Shirt. Favorite. Your favorite podcasts. Groundhog's Day. Your favorite podcast shirt.
There it is.
Tevis's phone to save this derailment. Thank you, Tevis's phone. All right. Are you ready to get into this?
Well, let's do this.
All right. 2022 Violent Night, written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller. Josh Miller. Do I know that name? Or do I just think I know that name?
Or are you thinking of Josh Lucas?
No. I'm thinking of something Miller.
Let me look. Josh Miller.
Do I know you, Josh Miller? Do you owe me money? Did you make some other movie?
He wrote Violent Night.
Nailed it.
That's all I'm getting.
Oh. So no, I don't know Josh Miller. I'm clearly thinking of someone else who I will never remember, but they probably owe me money. Directed by Tommy Wirkola, possibly Wirkola.
I was curious as to what he's directed before.
Do I know Wirkola?
Do you remember the
Wirkola
Hansel and Gretel
with
Witch
Jeremy
Hunters
Renner?
with Jeremy Renner?
Oh, gross.
He did Dead Snow, which is like the zombie Nazi something or other,
No.
German, Russian hybrid. I don't know.
Well, if they're Nazis, I don't think they're Russian.
I think it's a Russian and a Nazis like battle in the dead. I don't know, something. Anyway, the other movie that he did after this one, Violent Night, I'm not sure I want to watch anything else he ever makes.
Okay.
It's called Spermageddon,
I don't like where this is going.
and it looks like an animated movie.
Making it worse.
It's two narrative threads. One is an emerging love story between two awkward teens, Jens and Lisa.
Jens?
Jens, Jens, who are having sex for the first time, and the other is an eventful quest of Simon the Seaman and his friends to reach the golden goal, the egg.
No.
Swear to God.
So wait, one half of the story is animated pornography, and the other half of the story is like a fantasy Lord of the Rings quest of sperm.
Yes, and here is the screenshot.
Oh no!
Of
Oh
Simon
no!
the sperm.
No! Oh, I don't like that. I never needed to see a human face on a sperm.
You did now, so you're welcome for that.
Thanks.
If I had to see it, you had to see it.
I mean, that has been the established what I'm so distracted now because I can't, that image is burned into my retinas.
So, okay, so the other things that Mr. Josh Miller has done.
Oh no.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I bet that's where I'm.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh.
Sonic Drone Home.
I don't know what that is.
A Very Sonic Christmas.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Lots of things with Sonic.
So he's the Sonic guy.
Apparently.
And Violent Night.
And yeah. I mean, I see how Sonic rolls right into Violent Night.
Do you need a drink?
Jesus.
You don't sound great. You are not full-throated. Speaking of Spermageddon.
There.
You have some dribble.
Sure.
Speaking of Spermageddon. Well, I regret this whole
I'm
this
so
whole
sorry.
line of thought. I regret everything.
I'm so sorry I even looked up.
Where does the Spermageddon come into place, though? So many questions that I'm not actually sure I want answered.
I want to know where it's streaming.
Don't say streaming when talking about Spermageddon. It's streaming everywhere.
Streaming down your chin.
Oh my God. What a highly specific example.
Anyway,
Violent Night.
let's talk about Violent Night.
Starring David Harbour and John Leguizamo. David Harbour's second appearance on the show.
I'm glad he doesn't have an accent.
No accent this time. Sans accent. Budget, an estimated $20 million. With a worldwide gross of $76 million. And I find that surprising.
That it's that low?
No.
Or that it's that high?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you find that surprising?
is I kind of thought no one went to see this.
I did.
You saw it in theater?
I saw it in
Well,
theaters.
hold on to that shocking revelation. How many times did you go see?
Just
did you
once.
see it $76 million worth of times? With 1 award win and an additional 3 nominations, but nothing funny or major
Nothing
or
Oscar worthy.
or Razzies or just,
Okay.
it is what it is. So I have no history with this movie. I've never seen it until now for the show. Kind of forgot it existed and just moved on with my life. And then I know we had kind of kicked around the idea of doing it. Then my wife had kicked around the idea of her and I watching it. And then she said, hey, you should just watch it for the show. And I said, well, you make us dinner, so I'll let Tevis know.
Sounds good to me.
And that's my history. But now, more importantly, let's get to your history with Violent Night.
I did. I went to the theater to watch this. It was fairly empty, but I went at like 4 in the afternoon just because I want to avoid the crowd.
Oh, so the emptiness, not necessarily a blatant sign.
Right. I don't know. I walked out of that movie theater and I was a little underwhelmed, honestly. And I kind of like you, I just forgot all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about doing it, and then you brought it up with doing it for the show, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll watch it again and see if my opinion is the same or worse. So yeah.
All right, then. Shall we dive in?
Head first.
Santa's drinking at a pub in England.
I want to talk about the beginning, the 87 North Stickman fight for their logo.
I might have been peeing. I don't know if I remember that.
It was just the intro to the movie production company or whatever, but it was just kind of fun. It just had these two little stickmen karate fighting, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Did it bring you back to Newgrounds?
Kind of. Anyway, Santa at the bar.
Santa's drinking. He is, as he put it, on break in between shifts. And he's kind of down.
A little bit.
This Santa's a bit of a downer. You've got the bartender, she's giving him drinks, and then a mall Santa comes in. And he's like, fellow Santa. And they begin talking about the Christmas season and what it means. And our Santa he's fairly negative on the whole thing.
Yeah, he's been doing this job a long time. And just kind of like anybody, you do the same thing for a long time. You get a little negative, I think. I do like when the bartender asks him, so you're not driving, are you? He's like, I steer, but reindeer do most of the work.
I steer a little with the reindeer. But he's like, but Santa, he's saying he can't even remember at this point why he got into it. The Santa business. And everything, the kids these days, they're like junkies. It's just more, want. You give them a present, they open it, they look at it, and then they just immediately want the next present. They need the next fix. And it's quite disheartening.
It's a little bit, yeah, when he's like, maybe this is my last year.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a little more serious than the direction I knew this movie was going.
Yeah.
But then they do something that brings it to the type of movie that we're getting.
I think you are alluding to my next note. Santa leaves Except he doesn't go through the door. He goes upstairs. And the bartender's like, wait, where'd he go? And the other Santa, the mall Santa, is like, oh, he went up those stairs. She's like, oh, that leads to the roof. And she's like, hey, stupid, you can't be up here. If you fall, I'm going to get in trouble. And he's gone. And she looks up into the sky, and there's a sleigh and reindeer. And she's having this big, she's almost like a child again, and she's believing, and it's this big magical moment. And then drunk Santa throws up over the side of the sleigh, and it hits her right in the face. And I looked to Anna at this moment. I went, oh no.
Yeah.
Actually, my note is puke joke leaves bad taste.
Yeah. I was really interested in what Santa was talking about, what he was going through. And then they end it with, and it was even kind of cool with the bartender coming upstairs and looking, and she gets this magical feeling that's taking over. And then you have to end it with a puke joke. I hate it. I hated it.
Okay. It's not as bad, but it's definitely in the same ballpark as the poop humor in Joe Dirt. Is it not? Like, the puke isn't funny.
It's cheap. It's honestly, it's cheap.
Yeah, but is it? It's cheap, but is it funny?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, he threw up on her. Okay, I guess. So, then it cuts to a tense family meetup as a woman and her daughter pick up a guy standing at looks like a bus station. I'm like, world's smallest bus. And we learn that the couple used to be husband and wife. I don't think they're divorced. I think they're separated.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think they're officially divorced, though.
We're talking about Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was his wife's name? I forget.
Krish? I don't know.
Linda.
Nailed it.
Yeah. First time. So close. And their daughter, Trudy. I almost
Gertrude.
said Judy.
Judy. There's a hot... there's a goober reference from the Andy Kripis show.
Jesus Christ.
I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm going through a lot of emotional things right now. But it's tense, and the mom makes some comments in front of the daughter that I'm just like, this makes me feel weird. I'm like, not in front of your kid. But they're doing their best, I guess, to make something work. But what's her face and the smaller what's her face have agreed. Trish and Judy have agreed.
Linda and Trudy.
Oh, thank you. Linda and Trudy have agreed to go with Jason to his mother's for Christmas, for a family Christmas get-together. And while pulling up the drive, they are stopped at a little security station where they meet Al, the guy running the gate.
I could swear to God that this was Ben Carson.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. I'm like, is that Ben Carson?
You mean former presidential hopeful?
Yes.
Okay. I believe you mean Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Dr. Ben Carson.
I was wrong. I put it in my notes. I'm calling it now. Al will be the best character in this movie. He is the nicest guy, and he knows them by name. He knows Trudy by name. He's talking to both the parents and to Trudy on a personal level, not like a weird, emotionally deep level, but like he knows things about them. He remembers things about them. He's asking Trudy about school and hobbies and interests she has. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
I liked him.
And I'm calling it the best character in this movie. But they go up. It is a big, big house. And Anna goes, whoa, that is a big house. I went, well, this movie takes place in Greenwich, Connecticut. She goes, "What does that mean?" I was like, "It's Greenwich, Connecticut. It's a lot of old money lives there."
Yes.
And I've never heard it described as anything other than an overpriced hellhole from people who have lived in or around it or have had to like commute to it for work. I've never heard Greenwich, Connecticut or Connecticut in general described as anything other than an overpriced hellhole.
I've never heard it described. So,
Right? We don't hobnob with the Connecticut class.
no.
Something tells me I'm okay with that.
Wasn't that where Hunter Hearst Helmsley was originally from?
Yeah, but I also think Paul Levesque, the man, is from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Is he?
Like, same with the McMahons. Like,
That wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, they're all Greenwich people. So big house, we meet most of the family. Jason has just a god-awful sister. She's married to some tool D-list, F-list actor.
Morgan Steele?
Morgan Steele. They have a son. It is not the actor's biological son. It is just the sister's biological son.
Ben?
No, Bertrude.
Oh, Bert. Yeah.
Because his name is Bertrude.
Bertrude. Forgot it was Bert.
So the cousins' names are Gertrude and Bertrude. And they call him Bert. I get what they're doing here. He is every modern kid who just wants to be the next major social media influencer, dialed just all the way up.
Hated it.
You want to punch him in the face.
Yes.
And the thing is, though, I know this is overdone for comedic purposes, but I can't help but feel like there are people out there who are this.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But every member of this family is just ratcheted up to the highest volume.
But yeah, do we get into it now?
Might as well.
All of these characters that we've met thus far, except for Al, are one-dimensional. And then that one dimension is dialed all the way up to Looney Tunes. So not only do you have boring, impossible to identify with characters because they have no depth and they're not real people, but then you add that cartoonish level they're portrayed at, and it's grating.
Yes. I agree.
Now, Jason, Linda, and Trudy, they, at least so far, they've been given a little depth, definitely more than the extended family. But a common issue throughout this movie are it's not just their one-dimensional characters, it's the dialed up one-dimensional characters, to the point that I don't just find your character boring, I find them irritating.
Boring and irritating is a bad combination.
I cannot think of a combination of feelings your character can cause that will drive me away faster. At least irritating and interesting can be cool.
Yes. The character Morgan Steele,
Yes.
he makes a reference to the 9/11 hijacking.
Oh my God. This.
Do you know what that's from? I had no idea.
I didn't know it was. I thought they were just referencing 9/11.
They are, but so Morgan Steele is based on Mark Wahlberg.
No.
And apparently in an interview in Men's Health magazine, I think it was, he basically made this same claim
No.
that if he was on board, it wouldn't have went down that way. There's a way he worded it, like that if I was on board, there would have been blood in the cabin and we would have landed safely, or I would have, landed it safely or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And man, when I heard that, and I went and I looked it up and I looked at the article and I read it. I was like, oh.
So you got like the exact wordage. And yeah.
But I was like, oh, Mark Wahlberg, that's icky.
That's gross.
That is
Okay,
icky.
man, now I feel conflicted. Okay. So Morgan Steele is talking to his woman, and they're for some reason they're talking about 9/11. Why? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. But perhaps, unless it's pertinent to the plot, our characters shouldn't just be small talking about tragedies and terrorist attacks, and I don't mean just 9/11, the London bombings, Pearl Harbor. You know what? Maybe don't just casually talk about the A-bombs or when Japan firebombed China or anything the Khmer Rouge did. Like, maybe we don't need to just casually quip about the Holocaust or any earth-shaking tragedy. Am I wrong?
I think it's just their, again, cheap way to make Morgan Steele even more icky.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's so many better ways to do it.
So continuing on though with this, if I may.
Yeah.
He says, if I had been on that plane, what'd he say? I'd have landed that plane safely and there would have been a bunch of terrorists skydiving over Connecticut without parachutes or something to that effect. And I remember just going, gross. What the fuck is this line? What the fuck? Like, I am not offended by anything. And I'm still watching this going, that is in such poor taste. Just out of nowhere. What is that? Now, your revelation, and I'm going, oh my God. Now I feel icky about Mark Wahlberg, which really doesn't change my opinions of Mark Wahlberg. I'm not a Mark Wahlberg guy, so I don't care. It's not like, oh, it's ruined Mark Wahlberg for me. But what a dipshit. Come on.
Yeah.
Just keep that shit to yourself. And going back to the movie, even if you're just like, we're going to poke fun at this idiot, don't. This is the wrong way to do it.
I agree.
Because you're going to have, I believe this, the majority of your audience, us, people like us who don't know what you're referencing because we didn't read Mark Wahlberg's obscure article interview in Men's Health issue, whatever, because we don't care about any of that. We didn't read it. We don't know what he said. Now, you're making a reference to something no one knows what you're talking about. That's a bad idea. You're casually quipping about a tragedy. That's a bad idea. And you're doing this to make your character unlikable, but you're not making the character unlikable. You're not making us walk away from Morgan Steele. You're making us walk away from Violent Night.
I agree. Yeah, the article was it was an interview in Men's Journal, not Men's Health.
Okay, sorry, Men's Health.
Here was the exact quote that he said.
Oh God.
He said, "If I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in that first class cabin than me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry."
Christ. Jesus Christ.
What an ick. Anyway,
I have a lot of. We're just moving on. I don't want anything to do with this. Nope. Oh God. Okay. Let's move on to the next horrible thing. Bert is Snapchatting or TikToking or whatever social media he's doing, but not paying any attention to his mom. So his mom turns to Morgan Steele and he's like, oh, let's just start kissing. Kiss me in front of my son. Kiss me in front of my son. I'm going, oh my, no. So, Tevis, my question to you, what the fuck is this?
it's just a cheap way to make us not like these characters.
Yeah, but like, is she trying to make her son jealous?
I don't know.
Does she want to be kissing her son? Does she want her son to kiss Morgan Steele?
It feels like the only way the writers can make characters despicable is to make them say extremely outlandish things or cuss all the time.
Yeah.
Or a combination of both. And it's irritating as hell.
There is no wit, charm, cleverness, intelligence, nothing to any of these comments or these characters or this writing. It's so off-putting. But again, it doesn't put me off of the characters. It puts me off of the movie.
When I was sitting in the theater watching this, and all of this introduction to the family happened, I legitimately thought about just getting up and leaving.
Just
because I was like, this, it's terrible. It's cheap. It's fucking cheap. And I can't express how annoyed I was at it, where I felt like the only way that the writers could even do anything was just over the top.
Mm.
Everything had to be over the top.
But not in a good way.
No.
Not in like an airplane way or a Naked Gun way. Not in a fun, clever, witty way. This is awful. Awful. So they're all getting ready for Grandma. And everyone's kind of afraid of Grandma. And everyone is also really wanting to kiss Grandma's ass. And she comes down, and her grandkids are down there, and her kids are down there. And she comes into the room and calls someone a cocksucker and then immediately leaves.
It's the same thing.
Then everyone's like, oh, I guess we do. And the thing is that every time she comes, like, everyone just kind of feels this innate need to, like, rush to the front of the room and stand at attention and, like, wait for her. Like they have to present themselves to her. Except Jason, and he's like, no, we're not going to do that this year. No, we're good. Not going to do it. So the sister's family, they go do it. And mom comes in and says cocksucker, then immediately leaves because she's talking on the phone to some cocksucker, presumably.
A senator.
Well, then she comes in and everyone stands at attention. And then she comes in, she cusses something else and leaves. They do this joke like 4 times. And then on the final time she comes in, that's when she says, well, it's very lovely talking to you, Senator. And it's like, oh, ho, ho, she's been talking that way to a senator. Except it's not the 1970s. And I think we would all talk to our senators that way. So whatever. And now this is just supposed to be kindly old grandma cusses in front of grandkids. I'm like, no, this doesn't work.
Here's one of the lines that she says. Listen, you cocksucker, it's Christmas. So why don't you take your best offer, gift wrap it, and ram it up your fucking box?
Yes. So she's talking to a female senator.
Yes, but
how progressive?
Why? Why does? Anyway.
Also, who talks like that?
That's another one of my points. It was like they had to figure out different combination of words to use with fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and every character had to do it.
Yeah.
Even the terrorists or the robbers or whatever you want to call them.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Ryan Reynolds trying to ad-lib curses in Deadpool. Because, man, that guy's bad at swearing, and his improv is horrible.
I'll take Ryan Reynolds over this any day.
I think I would too, but it's still, that's what it reminded me of. If she had just said like swizzle stick, you shit-stirring swizzle stick, and I'm like, oh, it's Ryan Reynolds. Because he's Canadian and he can't cuss.
I had moments of cringe.
Moments?
Lots of moments of cringe.
I think it's more like you just were cringe and had moments of relaxation when you could finally let your tension down a little bit.
Yeah.
We learned that grandma's a bitch. She just is. And while everyone is enjoying their super tense whatever, we get a present delivery montage. This I actually thought was funny. Disheartened Santa, not like uncaringly just delivering presents and just like tossing them and stuff. That made me laugh. Or like him eating the milk and cookies and he's just like, oh, what skim? Ugh. And then he looks at someone's liquor cabinet and he's like, oh, bingo.
Yeah, I did like the fact that all the cookies were the same. It was that box of vanilla wafers or not banana.
Yeah.
Whatever. I liked that it was all the same cookie.
Until he got to that one house and he's like, oh, wait, this is an actual sugar. It takes a bite and he's just like, oh.
Yeah, that was what Trudy left out for him.
Homemade. And he pockets them like he finally got like the good stuff, but he just raiding liquor cabinet. He falls asleep. Or that's late. Oh, no, that's Trudy's. But when he's just like, he just pulls a video game, rap game or whatever, just like tosses it into the Christmas tree. I thought him just uncaringly delivering presents was funny. You know what isn't funny? Santa peeing off the side of his moving sleigh. Because it's puke, it's pee, it's poop, it's... Guys, we can do better than this.
I seen that and I was like, really? This is what we're doing?
Well, you can't even say that after the opening puke joke. I mean... We're there already.
That's true.
Jesus. So Santa's doing his thing. He delivers to a nice house, and it has homemade cookies and a liquor cabinet. And he sits down in one of those shiatsu massage chairs, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get one of these. This is the life." And he's just like drinking brandy and eating sugar cookies and falls asleep. And you know what? I thought that was funny.
I like that.
Drunk, disheveled Santa who's he's just done. He's tired. He's fatigued from what Christmas has become. And then just, drunk naps in someone's chair. That's funny. I thought that was humorous. Now, Trudy is upset. Oh, also, the grandmother's name is Gertrude. And her children are so pathetic that to curry favor, Jason names his daughter Gertrude, but she goes by Trudy now. And the grandmother, the OG Gertrude, original Gertrude. So OG finds out that Trudy likes to go by Trudy and then says, well, that makes you sound like a whore. And then he's like, Jason's like, Mom, he's like, she doesn't know what the word means. Trudy's like 14. She damn well does know what the word whore means. But again, so pathetic to curry favor. Again, the cousin's name is Bertrude.
Again, with the grandma. Just her saying this outlandish thing in front of the grandkid to make her seem awful. It doesn't work.
No.
It's cheap. It's lazy. I hate it.
I'm just going to do it now, otherwise I'll forget. There is a way to make this joke work. Because I think you and I could make this joke work. But to make it work, you have to set it up and then drop the line at the end of the movie. So we're not doing it in her introduction. We're going to do it at the end. Okay? And grandma has to be set up to be the most kind, caring, lovable Betty White bitch you can imagine. Not only is she number one mom and grandma to the characters, the audience will need to want to hug her, right? And she's just nothing but grandma. Then at and you just build her up this way. Then at the end of the movie, if she confronts the main bad guy and drops a cocksucker, and then maybe startles herself with her language.
Yeah.
Boom. Now it's funny. Now it's worked because you're not expecting America's grandma, the world's grandma, to drop a cocksucker.
I agree.
But the way it's done, you're just like, this.
It's overdone.
It's burnt. It has set the house on fire levels of overdone.
Yes. And it's overdone within the first, 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
Oh, this movie's whole entire humor is overdone. And the humor of Violent Night has officially overstayed its welcome, and we are about 20 minutes in.
Yeah. The humor, I was done with it at the puking scene.
I was too.
Yeah.
So, Linda, also known as Trish, is mad at Jason because Jason didn't take Trudy to go see Santa at the mall like they do every year. And Jason apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry, it's been very hectic this year." Possibly alluding to the fact that they are separated and he's working more and doesn't live at home anymore, and this bitch can take her own daughter to see Santa. Damn! Get off my boy's nuts, woman!
Woman?
Damn!
Yeah, I thought that was a little ridiculous. That
they do a lot of cutting off of Jason's balls in a really just derogatory manner that I'm just like, I don't like this. This makes me feel weird, and not in a good way. Not like I sat on my own junk in a massage chair weird. I just don't like it. So, to make it up to her, Jason and Linda go, because Jason has an idea. And he digs out an old walkie-talkie with like headphones. At first, I thought it was a Walkman.
Oh, yeah?
I did. I was like, he got her a walk. But no, it's a walkie-talkie with headphones. Excuse me, earpods.
Sure.
Well, they're not headphones.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're earbuds.
Earbuds.
Yeah. That step in between AirPods and headphones. Earbuds. Not AirBuds. Those are golden retrievers.
I almost rather watch Airbud.
You know what? I've watched Airbud recently, and I was less viscerally disgusted with it than I was.
There's no poop jokes or puke jokes, or does the golden retriever drop the words cocksucker at any moment?
Actually, the movie might have been better
as
the
he's
golden
dunking.
Suck it, cocks. That actually might have made the movie better. But no, he doesn't. But they tell Trudy that this is a special walkie-talkie that will let her communicate directly with Santa. But Santa may not respond right away because it's Christmas Eve and he's super busy, but he will definitely hear her. So now she is able to tell Santa what she wants for Christmas through the walkie-talkie, to which she then asks for her parents to get back together, that the parents then awkwardly overhear and then awkwardly shuffle off.
Yeah.
Hold on. So yes, this is where we see Santa roll up. Now he has officially rolled up to the house, because we actually see him magic his way down the chimney. And I actually thought this was cool.
With the nose thing?
Like, yeah, he just does the Santa like nose touch, and he turns into magic and like floats down the chimney, and like it was cool. It was done well. It looked good. Like, this was actually cool, of like Santa just magicking down the chimney.
I agree.
I liked that.
And I like that they don't try to explain how it works. He even says, it's Santa magic. I don't know how it works.
Oh, they sure do. About 19 times.
That's true,
and
too.
at a certain point, just shut the fuck up. We all are aware that the writers don't know what they're doing. You don't have to keep beating us over the head with your own ineptitude. You can listen to Ticket Price for that.
So this is where we get Santa's first encounter with one of the terrorists.
Right. So the bad guys have taken over the house disguised as the holiday staff.
Yeah, like
essentially.
catering service.
Yeah.
Because even one of the, I think the sister was like, "You got the worst catering I've ever seen." Like,
But you're
Sure.
looking at the catering people, and there's such an obvious group of bad guys. Like they follow every villain cliche, like visual villain cliche you can think of. And then you get the one guy who goes into the security room to take out the security guards. He's like, "Oh, Merry Christmas, but you Americans don't celebrate my favorite holiday, Boxing Day." And he knocks the guy out. And I'm like, that's not even what Boxing Day
is
is.
that gingerbread?
Whatever.
Because they all have
holiday code names instead of real names. And I don't remember what any of them are because they're stupid. Because it's stupid. Because this movie is stupid.
Well, you have gingerbread.
Yeah.
You have Krampus.
Yeah.
You have candy cane.
Yep.
Frosty.
Yep.
Jingle.
Yep.
Tinsel.
Okay.
Sugar plum.
I don't remember those two.
Peppermint.
I remember Peppermint.
That's all I got.
Okay. Who was John Leguizamo?
Scrooge.
Oh, that's right. He was Mr. Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yep. Boxing Day joke.
Question.
Oh, God. No, Boxing Day doesn't involve fisticuffs.
Scrooge, his whole thing is he hates Christmas.
Correct.
So if he hates Christmas so much, why does he have code names that are about Christmas to all of his henchmen?
Because he's an asshole who's robbing a family on Christmas disguised as their holiday catering service. In his mind, he probably thinks it's horribly ironic.
Okay. That's all I got.
Also, if their plan was just going to kill everyone, just use your names, guys.
Yeah. I mean, but it's whatever.
So they take out the security. They begin killing all of the staff. Someone comes out, shoots poor Al. Poor Al.
Yeah, Scrooge kills Al.
Oh, that's right, because he's like, "Oh, my car broke down. Can you help me, with a tow truck?" And he shoots Al right in the head. And I went, they just killed the movie's best character. Then we see the woman, the blonde woman with the overly dark eyeliner and slicked back medium length blonde hair that you're obviously a villain. And she does the thing that Hollywood and honestly young adult fantasy novels love to do. Here's the thing. Here's what I learned from movies and young adult fantasy novels. If you have a female character, she exclusively uses bow and arrow and or knives.
Yeah,
And
you're not wrong.
Blonde woman pulls out a set of knives and kills several people in a hallway with knives. And I went, wow. We're just going to rack all the cliches, just all of them.
That was Candy Cane.
Candy cane. Yeah, she sucks. Maybe, you know what though? Maybe I'm just being too.
You're being Scrooge like.
Yeah, that's the problem. Actually, you know what I watched right before this while the kids were still awake? A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Love the Muppet
And
Christmas
hot
Carol.
damn, that movie is fantastic.
Hell yes, it is.
Can we just talk about Michael Caine and Kermit and shit? Look, pivot. We're talking about Jim Henson's The Muppets and the Muppet Christmas Carol.
We have an itinerary we have to follow.
Damn it. You sold out, man.
Santa.
Back in the early days of the show, we just pivot like crazy. Now you're just all about corporate sponsorship and, sticking to the itinerary. You changed, man. You fucking changed.
Successes went to your head.
I don't even know who you are anymore. You're not the man I married. So the first bad guy encounters Santa asleep in the massage chair. Now Santa has woken up to gunfire, and he's like, "Oh God, what was that?" And then goes, kind of peeks downstairs and sees people with guns, and he's like, "Oh God, I gotta get out of here." But his magic won't work because he's let himself get too disillusioned with the spirit of Christmas and the idea of Christmas and the Christmas season. So Christmas magic doesn't work.
Is that why, or is it because he's too drunk?
You know what? Now I don't know.
I think he has Christmas magic impotence.
Oh, he's got whiskey magic. You hate to see it, folks. Although a man of his age, performance issues are not unheard of with spellcasting.
It's been known to happen.
We've all been there. You're tired. It's been a long, stressful day. You got a lot on your mind, and next thing you know, you're just not.
You can't get it up.
You're not
the chimney.
Up the chimney. God, we're stupid. Speaking of cheap humor.
Yeah, but ours is funny.
Ours at least has a modicum of wit. A soupçon. It has a soupçon of wit. Thank you. I want that on my gravestone. Soupçon of wit. So he can't escape. Bad guy finds him. Fight breaks out. He's trying to wrestle the gun away. The gun goes off, shoots a bunch of holes in the ceiling, freaking out the reindeer. They leave. Now Santa's trapped. Even if he got up the chimney onto the roof, his ride is gone. We also forgot about him slipping in reindeer poop, because that's funny. So yes, this movie covers poop, pee, and vomit.
It does.
Poop, pee, puke. The three P's, the three pillars of comedy.
The pinnacle of comedy.
The three P's at the top of the pyramid of comedy. Jesus.
I do like the fact that he's scolding Prancer. Like, God, will you act like a professional?
It's so unprofessional. You can't just do it mid-flight like you're supposed to.
Wouldn't that be worse?
He would definitely kill someone or damage property.
Yeah. Okay.
Land on Joe Dirt.
Oh, I got the poop on me.
Dude, you were eating off of that.
Oh.
No, it's a meteorite. No, that's a piece of frozen reindeer poopy.
Reindeer poopy. Classic Joe Dirt.
Classic Joe Dirt eating food off of feces. What movie are we talking about? Violent Night. So I actually like how Santa just kind of gets worked over.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of gets his ass kicked a few times.
But in the process, knocks the guy out the window, who lands on a very sharp spike-like Christmas decoration and is impaled. He is dead.
I actually like the fight scene here. I like the and actually throughout the entire movie, the fight scenes are well done and they're different, each one of them. And I like how they incorporate some of the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
In it, like the Christmas lights in this one that pulls him out the window too.
That's right, because that's how he gets outside. Throughout the struggle, they both kind of half-ass choked each other with Christmas lights from around a tree. And so they're all tangled up together. When Santa knocks him out the window, you see the lights unspooling out the window, and then it's wrapped around his ankle, and he's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And he goes out the window and just lands on the concrete.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Hannah goes, wouldn't that kill him? And I was like, he's Santa. As far as I know, he might be some sort of pseudo-immortal being. I'm not going to pretend to know how Santa works.
As much damage as he takes throughout this film, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely has demigod levels of durability. I'm not saying he can't be killed. I'm just saying it's very difficult. while searching the guy, he finds a radio, tries to radio for help. There's no answer. But that's how he gets in touch with Trudy. He finds the same frequency that Trudy's walkie-talkie is on. And they're able to actually converse. But it smash cuts to the bad guys trying to get into the vault door, which, given the look of the vault door, I can only assume it leads to Cerebro from the X-Men.
No
Because
shit.
this door looks exactly like the Cerebro X-Men door.
Yeah, a little ridiculous.
Also, this isn't even an homage. This is just a Die Hard ripoff, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So that's not just me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because they even make reference to Die Hard in the movie.
Yeah.
When Santa is fighting one of the terrorists in the game room with the Santa sack, and he keeps trying to pull out a weapon. And he's like, video game. Die Hard on Blu-ray.
I don't know. I remember the scene. I don't remember him saying Die Hard on Blu-ray, but yeah.
But there is...
Wait, yes, I do. It's like the
So-
box set.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, even one of the characters' names, the commander at the very end on the snowmobile.
Yeah.
Because, for one, you have the snowmobiles.
And the Commander,
And the
which is just
Commander.
Die Hard 2.
Yes. But his name is Commander Thorpe.
I thought I recognized it.
The author of the book that Die Hard is based on is Roderick Thorpe.
There it is.
Nothing Lasts Forever is that book.
We talked about that it was based off of in our episode, I believe.
Yep.
So we get that. Then it cuts to the bad guys find the dead guy, so they know someone's in the house, so they're sweeping again. So another bad guy finds Santa. And Santa's like, look, I don't want to kill you. The guy's like, that's weird because you're not. And then proceeds to kick Santa's ass. So while he's talking to the guy and trying to buy time, he has a stocking, one of the decorative stockings,
Yes.
and is discreetly filling it with pool balls, like billiard balls. And then flails the shit out of that guy's face. In my notes, this fight's over.
Nope.
No, but this fight's over.
Should have been.
That guy should have been dead.
Yeah. Crushed
His face would have been
face bones.
I mean, realistically, he probably would have survived, but his face would have been shattered.
Absolutely.
Like cheekbone, jaw, orbital socket. Like, you put 5 pool balls in a stocking or something that you can swing, and you hit someone full blast. That fight is over.
Yeah.
But it's not. They begin to fight. Now, in the first fight, Santa gets worked over. And in this fight, Santa gets worked over. And we see him throwing really awkward punches like a man who's never thrown a punch before. And he just gets beat up. And that works because it's Santa. But keep this in mind, because it's going to really not make any sense when we get to a pivotal character developing moment later.
Okay.
Santa gets worked over. The fight spills out. He's looking for something to turn to even the odds. Because he's getting choked out. Santa is, and he grabs an ornament and he smashes it over the guy's head. And he grabs a bell and smashes it over the guy's head. And I went, why did the bell? Was the bell made of glass?
It was a bell ornament.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still like ding, 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 ding.
It was still
Sure.
ornament-esque.
So unsure what to do, he grabs the tree, the star topper for the tree and stabs him in the freaking eye.
A la Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2, there's a fight between John and a terrorist, and they're wrestling around on the ground, and he grabs an icicle.
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
shoves it into the guy's eye.
The icicle, I remember. I'm thinking tree topper.
No.
I don't remember a tree topper in Die Hard 2. Yeah, icicle. You know what? Yeah, you're right. But Santa ones up because the guy is still alive. So Santa plugs it in And then the guy gets his brain electrocuted, dies, and then his face catches fire, a la Edouard Delacroix from the Green Mile. And I just went, holy shit. And I remember my wife just went, oh, like she was having a visceral reaction. And I'm just going, all right, here we go.
There was a lot of that in this movie where I was watching and I was going, oh my God, damn, that's awesome.
Is it though? If we really break it down, so the fight scenes and the combat are the best parts of this movie.
Absolutely.
And how brutal and visceral they are it's over the top, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Or we are claiming it's cool. But is it not the fight scene equivalent to what they're masquerading as humor?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not cringy.
Yeah, it's not cringy.
Yeah. But like,
but no, you're right. It's legitimately over the top, similar to what their humor was.
I mean, we'll get there. But at one point, Santa performs a Mortal Kombat fatality.
You're gonna have to tell me which one that is.
Oh, not an exact one.
Oh,
He performs a Mortal Kombat like fatality maneuver.
oh, on this guy.
No,
no. Which one?
Scrooge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're 100% right.
Tell me that's not a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah.
Even the way it's presented, I went Mortal Kombat, which we'll get there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So Santa lights that guy's head on fire. So wanting to know who is running around the house, they're like, Scrooge and his team go back downstairs where all the family members have been corralled into one room with armed guards. And they're like, who'd you hire for Santa? And they're like, we didn't hire a Santa. And they're like, we saw the security footage. There's some fucking guy dressed as Santa running around killing our people. You're going to tell us who it is. Like, we didn't hire a Santa. It's tacky. And he's like, okay, hey, bitch, whatever, Gertrude, you love nutcrackers. Okay. So I'm going to torture your family until you tell us who Santa is. So then the family starts infighting about who should be tortured. And my money was on Gertrude.
Oh, yeah.
But essentially they pick Jason.
Of course.
Because even the bad guys know that Jason is the favorite son. And
well, doesn't the sister tell him that too?
Well, it's just like, pick Jason. You pick Jason. And he's like, but Scrooge is like, the favorite son. Like, he makes some kind of comment like he knows their personal relationship or some such. And then he has a knife bitch break his finger with a nutcracker, which never comes up again. He goes through the rest of the movie with a broken finger, except it super isn't.
Well, yeah.
Because he fights people and drives a snowmobile and manipulates objects with both hands.
He's fine.
I don't even think his finger had a bandage on it.
It's Christmas magic.
Christmas magic. I don't understand how it works. It almost seems like glaring continuity error, but what do I know? So they break his finger. No one's talking. So he's like, you know what? What are we doing? They're not called finger crackers. So he gets the biggest one next from the fireplace. He's like, all right, stripper pole. What's her name?
Candy cane?
Candy cane. I was close. Candy cane. Bring him over and pop one of his nuts in here. And she goes, whoa, I'm not doing that. And he's like, what's your problem? I've seen you scoop brains out. And she's like, you want me to scoop brains out? I'll scoop his brains out right now. I'm not touching his junk. Then there's the weird scraggly haired ginger guy. And he's like, I'll do it. Krampus.
Yeah.
And that's when Scrooge is like, God, I love sociopaths.
Absolutely.
Always up for new experiences. So then Krampus runs over, grabs Jason over and starts pulling out his junk to stuff it into a nutcracker. Had they done that, would that have killed Jason?
Probably.
Not right away, but without immediate medical attention, wouldn't he have died?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay. No, granted, I don't think the bad guys care about that. I'm just asking. Like, wouldn't that kill you?
I love how the fact that somehow Santa gets brought up in this,
Mm-hmm.
and Jason has to tell Trudy that Santa's not real.
Well, I think she even says it's the real Santa.
But then she gets all upset and runs off.
No one stops her.
No one stops her.
Room full of armed guards.
Yeah.
To keep their sole job is to keep the family in the room.
Yeah. But my thing was, so that being told that Santa's not real is more upsetting to you than your father's nuts about to get crushed,
or his finger getting snapped. And then even all the bad guys are like, "Whoa, dude, way to crush her spirit! Like, maybe we should come back at Easter and you can ruin that too." And I'm going,
that was their breaking point.
This joke could have been funny if it wasn't in the middle of a torture scene.
Yeah.
Like, guys, let's be honest. They're severity levels, all right? Letting a girl who is more than old enough to know that Santa isn't real. Trudy is... They don't actually say how old she is.
I think she's like 10 or 11.
The actress does not look or sound or act like she's 10 or 11. She might as well be 45. Okay?
She is not 45.
Her father is being tortured. Now her father's genitals are being forced out of his pants, which, let's face it, especially as a child, seeing your parents' genitals is disturbing.
A little shocking. Yeah.
You're just like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. No. But now you're watching his genitals he's being ball tortured. But whoa, Santa's not real. Pump the brakes, dude. What are we doing here as we're gonna crush your nuts? Like, what are we doing?
We can crush her nuts, you just can't crush her dreams.
That's right.
Yeah. We can kill everybody in the room, but don't tell her Santa's not real.
Like, these writers don't get it, do they?
No.
Okay.
No.
So she runs off. And honestly, Jason is ultimately saved because his nuts are spared because of the Santa isn't real. She runs off. No one even goes after her.
Well, Candy Cane runs after her, but Trudy's up in the attic forever.
Yeah. Trudy makes it like 3 stories up before Candy Cane leaves the room.
Yeah. It's weird.
But I'm also not really sure. But this is my question, because then it cuts to more Santa stuff. What saves Jason? Okay, Trudy ran off. Why did Scrooge not just continue with the torture to get the answer he needed? I don't remember.
I don't either.
It just cuts to Santa covered in blood.
Stitching himself up? Isn't that what he's doing?
Yes. So in his most recent fight, he got grazed by a bullet, and he might have
been a knife. I can't remember.
He was stabbed. He was stabbed. So he's in like a shed, and he's stitching himself up. And while he's doing it, you see very Nordic-inspired tattoos on his chest, arms, and back.
Santa looks cool as hell.
Yeah. But here's the thing, because I mentioned it to my wife, and she was like, she had no idea what I was talking about. Because at a moment in this movie, I believe prior to the stitching scene, we see Santa covered in blood, and it fades back to like a young Santa in like a barbarian helmet with like a battle scene in the background. And then it comes back to, and now we see him stitching himself covered in like runic, like wintry runic tattoos. And because we saw the barbarian head, helmet and all that. And I looked at Anna and I remember I guess they're going with the authentic, like true Santa origins of him being like Nordic. Not saying that Santa used to be a Viking or something or a barbarian, but like Santa Claus is Nordic in origin. And she's like, well, how do you know that? I was like, what do you mean? Well, she's like, well, you haven't seen this. I said, you're right. But Santa Claus is Nordic in origin. I'm not talking about this movie. I'm talking about Santa Claus is Nordic in origin.
Santa Claus isn't real?
You don't know that.
Jason told us.
Jason's testicles were in a nutcracker, and you know what? The government has said you cannot trust information obtained through torture.
They just said that so that we'd hate waterboarding. They should have waterboarded Jason. They would have got the information they needed.
But they'd have done it with like urine or something.
Oh, probably.
They would have all taken turns squatting over his face and peeing on him. And then I would have been aroused, and it would have just really ruined the whole movie experience for me.
There's a time and a place for that.
So Santa's stitching up. He's got cool tattoos. And then it cuts. So we see what Santa's up to. It cuts back. It cuts back to the family in the room. But again, they just, for no reason, stopped torturing Jason. And everyone left except the guards, with Krampus being one of the guards. So Krampus is like, hey, we're going to kill you all. Fun fact, let's open your gifts, because there's not going to be a Christmas morning for you guys. Let's see what you got each other. And that's when Morgan Steele's like, I'll go first. And he gives Grandma Gertrude the gift of a golden opportunity.
Such a douche.
Was it a pitchboard? What
pitchboard? Yeah,
I was think that what it was called? For some new horrible action movie starring him, obviously, and because like it's written, directed, starring Morgan Steele, and he's trying to get Gertrude to fund it. Okay. This is funny. The gift of a golden opportunity was funny. And what a great way to be like, you are such a douche and you are such a moron. Like, you're not getting out of this. Why are we? But like, what killed most of the humor of it for me was the 9/11 stuff and the humor up to this point. Like, this is how you build him up as the douchey, self-centered failure actor who's totally disconnected from everything other than himself. This is how you do it. This was funny, in my opinion.
This worked. I'll give you that. I did like this.
Then they grab Jason's. He's reluctant for Grandma to see it, but she sees it. Gertrude sucks, and they find it and they give it to her, and it's a bottle of her favorite whiskey and a card that she reads and then folds it and puts it in her jacket or coat pocket. And the sister's super jealous because Mom kept it. What's it say? I think this is best left just between Jason and I. And I was like, oh, that's intriguing. That could be cool. It's also funny because before the gift of a golden opportunity, the sister went and gave her like a sterling frame picture of her own birth. And the mom just went, she was like, look, it's a picture of my birth. And she was like, yeah, I was there. And then there's Krampus in the background. Oh, man, she doesn't give a shit.
Throws the picture across the room. Yeah, I like that too. That's a good job of showing how full of herself this woman is.
And just how, like, contrived she's being with trying to get on Gertrude's good side or whatever. That worked. But then the fact that she keeps the card and the sister's like, well, what was on it? What was on it? That's not your business. Cuts to Santa talking to Trudy some more. And we learn that Santa used to go by the name Nicomund the Red.
Yes.
And he was a Nordic barbarian who got his name through bloodlust.
With Skullcrusher.
His mighty warhammer, Skullcrusher. Yeah. And I went, is he a fucking D&D character?
This is very much the McClane Al moment that they have over the walkie.
Where Al shot a kid?
Yeah, where he's pulling glass out of his feet.
Because he's like, I'm not sure I'm going to get through this.
Yeah. They have their heartfelt moment.
Yeah. So we learn that, like, no, Santa was a badass. But we don't actually, but okay, this doesn't work for me for a couple of reasons. They don't explain what changed in Nicomund to become Santa Claus.
Okay.
Was he cursed and he became Santa Claus? Did he get so blood drunk that he lost his taste for it? Did he attack a village and go too far and kill children and in a fit of rage and then realized what he did after and swore a different path? What happened? And I'm not going to lie, that's kind of crucial character information for the Santa story they've set up here.
Yeah, I would agree.
Doesn't work for me. Reason 2. Santa has been shown as unable to fight. Except Santa should 100% be able to fight and know how to fight. I'm not saying he herb stomps everyone and walks away untouched, but we saw Santa earlier in the movie not knowing how to even throw a punch. But that's bullshit.
Yeah, but I believe when he was the Red, he used the hammer more than anything.
He knows how to throw a punch, Tevis.
But I'm just saying.
He knows how to throw a punch, Tevis.
I'm just saying he uses a hammer more. Plus, he hasn't done it in like 1,100 years.
See, though, I can't buy that
so
either.
It's just he's rusty.
I don't buy that either.
He's rusty.
Because, so at this point, the family kill squad shows up. We learn, though, that Scrooge has already gotten to them and that they are part of the plan.
Yeah, because Morgan jumps out the window.
He sees an opportunity to escape, screams like a girl, dives out a window, and runs for safety where he encounters the kill squad. He's like, thank God. You know, they're like, don't worry, sir, we're here to help you, blah, blah, blah. And then they light him up with machine guns and he dies.
I did like the sister's like, Morgan's going to save us as he's jumping out the window. And Gertrude says, Jean-Claude Van Dipshit just ditched us, sweetie.
That was fun.
I like that.
Now, okay, was it just me or did Morgan's death not sit right?
Like, did it matter?
Well, no, it doesn't matter. But it seemed overly brutal for what his character is.
I mean, he just got shot a few times.
A few times?
Yeah, a few times. Took about 12 bullets.
He looked like Sean Connery in The Untouchables.
It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
But it was done from a distance, so you really didn't see a whole lot.
I know. I was just like, oh, I don't know. This just felt weird.
Yeah. My whole thought was, if you're just going to kill him anyway, then why the hell was he in that room forever with everybody?
Well, they killed him because he had escaped.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Jean-Claude Van Dipshit. that was humorous. So, the kill squad shows up. They're surrounding the house to get into the vault, and they send a team to go to the shed to kill Santa. Santa tells Trudy that his Christmas wish would be to be able to tell his wife he loves her one more time. And he takes off his wedding ring and it slips out of his finger. And he's like, oh shit. And he's like bumbling around and it rolls and it rolls and it leads to a sledgehammer. The following sequence is brutal.
Yes, it is.
As he dismantles, B Squad?
Oh, yeah.
With a sledgehammer. And he massacres these people.
With a sledgehammer, with ice skates.
Oh, I forgot about the ice
snowblower.
Yep. Oh, God. The snowblower with the grinding wheel. Yeah. That's horrible.
I like this scene. But for one, it went on a little too long for me.
A little long.
And it was dark. Like, you really couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been to hide some of the brutality so they didn't get an X rating.
Yeah.
But still, it was very hard to see.
I don't know. The darkness didn't bother me as much. But I guess what got me was Santa hasn't fought for like 1,100 years. He's rusty with his punches. Then what the hell is this sequence? Because he hasn't lost a step with his hammer.
It's the hammer. It all came
It
back to
wasn't
him.
even his hammer. It was just a random sledgehammer. So then he's just all of a sudden is, John Wick combined with Conan the Barbarian.
Yes, he is.
And I'm like, where did this come from? You just showed him as like this jolly fat guy who's like bumbling around and getting beaten up. Not anymore. And it's not even like he's getting he got one upped or there was some moment where he learned kung fu. There was just a flip of a switch. And I'm like, this doesn't work with what you've set up. Damn it, what was I about to say? And now, like, you see the way he's hitting certain people. I'm like, does Santa have super strength? Because if
I don't know.
he does, where the fuck was that this whole movie?
Maybe that's his Christmas magic. He's sobered up. And that could have been another thing, too, why he lost those fights, because he was still drunk as shit.
Shit-faced Santa can't fight.
Exactly.
Sober Santa cuts your head off.
Absolutely. Cuts your head off with a fucking ice skate.
I don't know. Like, we can sit and joke and nitpick and whatever, but like this is like from a fundamental perspective, this doesn't match. This doesn't add up.
He sobered up.
Shut up. I wish I wasn't. So Nickamun the Red comes out. Oh, we get to see Bertrude get the shit slapped out of him.
I like that.
That was I replayed that a couple times. That was enjoyable.
I like the grenade down the guy's pants.
Yeah. And then he's doing the cool guy walk away.
Yeah, but he's like, I gotta watch this. And he turns around and he's like, holy shit.
So now Candy Cane and the other guy.
The other guy? You mean Gingerbread? Use his real name.
Well, technically, as we learn, his real name is Bjorn.
Gingerbread's his real name.
Because Santa gets captured?
Oh, yeah.
And they tie him up. And now Scrooge and Santa finally have their face-to-face meeting with Candy Cane and Gingerbread in the room. And we get a lot of just like really dumb backstory on Scrooge, and his family was poor. And he had a really bad Christmas one year because his dad couldn't afford a bunch of presents. And it just ruined his life. And I was like, this guy's a loser.
Yeah.
This guy isn't intimidating. He isn't cool. This guy sucks.
I agree. And I like John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
I did not like him in this character.
No. It didn't fit.
No, it didn't.
Plus the character sucks.
The fire extinguisher explosion.
Yeah.
When Santa is in the room and he shuts that door.
That's how they capture him. Yeah.
Scrooge throws that fire extinguisher out the door and then shoots it. If you watch, Santa gets blown back, but so does the door. But they go through each other.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Like the comping of it, the door goes through Santa, or Santa goes through the door. I can't remember. So that's that. And it was very obvious when I watched it this last time. And I was like, wait, what? Did I just see that?
Christmas magic.
I rewound it a couple times.
Magic.
Nope.
Christmas magic. He was drunk.
Shitty visual effects.
He got sobered up. Christmas magic.
We don't know how, but it works.
So, God, this whole bleeding heart villain. I'm like, this guy sucks. His motivation sucks. This guy is a pathetic loser.
I agree.
Who couldn't grow up from the one bad Christmas he had as a child.
He is no Hans Gruber.
No, but they're trying really hard.
They are.
And
he's not even Quaylen from Cliffhanger.
Let alone Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I like John Leguizamo just fine. But he's no
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, thank you. Totally spaced there for a second.
I saw that. I could see the look on your face. It looked like you were being rebooted.
He was. The dial-up had just someone picked up the phone and the internet connection got interrupted. I got to boot back up.
Could you hear the phone ringing, getting ready to ring through the speakers?
Yeah. I forgot about that. So it's like, hey, what's in the bag? And it's like, it's nothing, it's empty. Well, reach in there. And he reaches in, they keep pulling out presents. And it's like, well, this is bullshit. What's the gimmick with the bag? And Sam's like, I don't really know how it works. It's Christmas magic. It's like, this is bullshit. You're bullshit. And then like, is it candy cane first? He's like, maybe he's the real Santa. What did you just say? I know you're an idiot, but keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I know you're an idiot, but don't be an idiot out loud or something like that.
So they throw Santa's bag in the fire. It burns up like instantaneously. Apparently, someone had Christmas magic, some gasoline because
too much whiskey soaking into that bag.
Yeah, but I imagine there's enough urine to inert it.
That's true. That is true.
He's like, no, my bag. Those are full of children's dreams or something stupid. I don't. So then they say something to him, and he's like, well, gee, I don't know. And then he calls Scrooge by his actual name.
Yeah.
Jerry or
I don't
Tom
remember.
or John or
Tom or Jerry.
Tom or Jerry or Bugs or whatever. And they're like, wait, how does he know your real name? Oh, come on, don't be. Was it come off of it, Bjorn? Like, you don't remember that Huffy bike I got you in 82. And he's like, and then like Bjorn's gingerbread's like freaking out. And he's like, oh, please, every child wants a bike. That's like asking a grown man if he wants to see a nice pair of tits. And I'm like, no one talks like that, guys. And it's not just like, remember that, Santa didn't say, remember that bike I got you. Bjorn, by name. Remember that Huffy bike I got you in 82. There are enough specific detail qualifiers to make Scrooge's argument dumb.
I agree.
And then Candy Cane says something, and he's like, Kira, you didn't get anything because you made your brother eat worms. That's naughty. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
He ends up escaping with Christmas magic. It finally works.
He sobered up.
He doesn't know how it works. He believes because Trudy is helping him remember why he became Santa, even though we, the audience, never actually got to see the raging blood-fueled barbarian's turning point, which seemed kind of crucial.
Maybe a little bit.
It's whatever. So now Candy Cane and Gingerbread, whatever, they are looking for Trudy, and they find Trudy in the attic. Trudy has spent half the movie talking about her new favorite Christmas movie, Home Alone, and all the booby traps he set up, and it was so funny. And then she tells Santa, well, I can set up booby traps like they did in Home Alone. And he's like, well, I don't really know what that means, but sure. And I'm also like, Santa doesn't know what Home Alone is?
I'm sure he doesn't have time to watch movies.
What does he do?
He's got an army of elves to run.
Yeah, that usually means one of them little bastards may run into the video store to get at least the Christmas classics. Damn. But it's fine. He's an old man. He doesn't know it. So Trudy sets up booby traps, which they basically really liked Corridor Crew's version of R-rated Home Alone.
Yes.
And they did it in a movie.
Yes, they did.
That's what this was.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, guys, you're kind of just stealing from Corridor Digital right now. Like, blatantly. So she sets up, and so there's like a doormat with a bunch of like nails and drill bits and horrible sticky pokey things, and they're like, "Hey, you little idiot! Booby traps only work if we can't see them." So then he's like climbing up the ladder, and there's the classic nail on the rung, but he sees it, and as he's climbing up, does he get hit with the first bowling ball?
No, the stairs she had sawed.
That's
through
what
the
she
stairs.
did. The stair. Brr. She did the stairway saw gag from the Home Alone movies.
Yeah.
He falls and lands, I guess, his butt.
Well, he lands on that first nail in the stairs on his chin.
It gives way, and the nail goes through his chin into his mouth.
Yeah.
And kind of like how candy canes are going to be okay. Don't worry, it's going to be totally fine.
She can scoop brains out, but this nail in the guy's mouth.
That was too much.
Too much.
Did you also notice
Equalizer.
the detail of it pushed one of his teeth out of the way? Oh.
That made me cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that at the theater, I was like, "God!"
Yeah, we thought Harry stepping on we thought Marv stepping on the nail was bad.
Yeah. Oh.
Actually, that still makes me just.
I think I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, God,
it looks good.
It does look good.
And then his scream is great. Not the Marv scream, but just Daniel Stern acts in a very relatable way of just falls backwards. I'm like, yeah. He sells better than modern wrestlers.
My favorite Home Alone.
Can we pivot and just talk about Home Alone?
We're pivoting. Is Home Alone 2.
Okay.
Is when both Harry and Marv are at the doorway and they're listening and they hear that tool chest coming down the stairs.
You hear that? What is that? Boom!
I don't know.
Wait.
And the door. It's the sound of a toolbox falling down the stairs.
No, okay, if we're talking Home Alone 2, my favorite is they're charging up the stairs and Harry stops and wait. Remember last year? And the paint can comes down and they catch it and he's like, he got me! Don't worry, Harry. I'll get him. Bang! Oh, right in the schnoz.
Oh, God damn.
I don't care what anyone says. Also, Marv getting electrocuted to the point it's his skeleton with the afro
and the beard still. Oh,
that's funny.
I like Home Alone. I may have laughed at Home Alone 2 more. And it's just a rehash. It's 100% just a rehash.
Yeah, same joke, different punchline.
Yeah, but man, that's the sound of a toolbox falling down the stairs. Oh,
when Harry gets his head blowtorched again and does the headstand into the toilet, but it's full of kerosene. So then the camera jumps to the outside of the house, and you just see all the windows light up from the flash. Whoosh.
Oh, such good shit.
Oh. This much needed good movie break brought to you by Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Now back to the feature presentation of Violent Night.
Yeah, so the candy cane goes up the stairs, and that's when we get the bowling balls.
Now, it's a row, like a whole row, like a rack of bowling balls,
right?
Falling, bouncing off a trampoline, then bouncing and catapulting towards the opening. One of them catches her in the forehead. Dead?
Yeah, I mean,
dead.
At least a little sore.
Concussed? Okay. She has been rendered neutralized, at least for a while.
Yes.
Because she essentially takes a cannonball to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a movie about Santa Claus being John McClane. So.
Yeah, but Trudy commits war crimes.
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah, because one of the bowling balls goes through the hole.
Yeah.
And Gingerbread is down after he pulled these nails and shit out of his ass, looking at the nail for some reason.
But holding it at in between the eye forehead level.
Yeah.
For reasons?
Like, okay, I know what was coming here. Yeah, that bowling ball smacks it.
Well, it was set up so obviously.
Yeah, it was.
And then the bowling ball hammers the nail in, and
the nail through the mouth legitimately shocked me. I was like, oh shit, what the hell?
Well, yeah, that's a very visceral, like, oh!
But the one when he hits that bowling ball and the nail goes through his head, I was like, I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, that was bleh. That was bleh.
But the other one,
you know what? Hold on. You know what I think would have been better than the nail through the forehead? Is if he stuck to all the spikes, right? He finally pries himself free in time for a bowling ball to like hit him in the lap and force him back down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
And then honestly just crush him to death with bowling balls and move on.
Yeah, all of them just fall out.
Boom, yeah, boom, boom, and boom, then just like make Candy Cane keep dodging them because she's in the attic and she's dodging the bowling balls. And at that point, each he just needs to bounce, and then you just hear, bam,
yeah, that would have worked
until the last one, and you just hear a dull squish and just be done with it.
Yeah.
So, Candy Cane ends up stepping in glue. She loses her balance, falls backwards into the glue. She rips herself out of the glue, which rips off a gnarly chunk of hair and scalp.
That was the other one that got me. When she did that, I was like, oh, that, nope.
She gets up. She's barefoot now because she had to take her boots off, and then she's stepping on the ornaments. And I was like, okay, here we go. Yep. But she's still, to just rage and determination, gets to Trudy, and she's like, I'm going to kill you. And all of a sudden, a sledgehammer hits her in the chest that rockets her backwards as if she got hit by a car.
Yes.
Because Santa has super strength now.
Absolutely. He took that super serum down there in the...
he became Captain Santa.
Yeah.
Santa America. He and Trudy finally meet for the first time face to face, and he's like, oh yeah, she's still alive. You know what? Just turn around, close your eyes, put your fingers in your ears, and sing Jingle Bells just like as loud as you can. And he walks over and he like steps on her hand so she can't get her knife. And he's like, you were about to murder an innocent child.
That's naughty.
It's naughty. And then brutalizes her with the hammer. She's dead. Family gets out. Santa's killing a bunch of soldiers. He kind of kills a guy with a snowball or something. He ends up knocking that guy out with a snowball.
Honestly, this part until the final fight with Scrooge, I spaced out.
It just goes by in a blur of inconsequential motion.
It felt like it was just dragging on just to add to the runtime. Yeah. Honestly.
It's like, let's wrap this up. So now there's a snowmobile chase, but not before Santa catches up to them on foot.
Yeah. I don't get this either because he's holding a sled and he's running with it.
Is he going to use Christmas magic to like sled down a hill super fast? I could buy that, but he doesn't. He chases them on foot and catches them and then sleds into one of them, knocking him off the snowmobile, and he like hijacks it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is stupid. He finally catches up to Scrooge. Oh, of course, we can't forget the guy who gets shot in the dick. A guy gets shot.
I have no idea.
Linda, not Trish. Linda.
Linda shoots
Trish
in the dick.
Linda shoots Trish in the dick. And then the whole fight scene, you just hear him going like, I got shot in the balls. My balls.
Is that the one where the guy's choking out Trish, Judy, Linda?
No, that's Snowball guy who woke up from getting hit with a snowball.
Oh, okay.
But Ballsack guy is lying in the snow somewhere. Clutching his clusters. So Scrooge and Santa square off for their final confrontation. Snowmobile's destroyed. I actually did kind of like the general idea of this fight, choreography-wise, of Santa is clearly bigger, stronger, more capable, gonna give him the business, but he's on ice.
Oh, yeah.
And Scrooge has those ice cleats on his shoes, so he has the traction.
Yeah, I did like that idea.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that. Otherwise, let's face it, David Harbour Santa versus John Leguizamo.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
I'm like, this should be a murder.
Absolutely.
It's not a fight, it's a murder. But no, I mean, they have a fight, but also now, like, John Leguizamo, Scrooge has some sort of martial arts capability that comes out of nowhere, fighting with the climbing spikes that he has for a reason.
Honestly, I don't know. I glossed over. I was ready for it to be done.
Yeah, at this point, I don't care. I just want it to end. Then Santa gets the upper hand, is holding Scrooge, says some quip about quips. I don't know, quipping. And Santa touches his nose and goes through the chimney, but he's still holding Scrooge. So as Santa magic goes through the chimney, so does Scrooge's body. And it rips Scrooge to pieces. So when Santa emerges at the top of the chimney, he's basically holding a mangled torso, and that's it. And he's just like, holy shit. And, drops the torso. And that's the point. I was like, that's a Mortal Kombat fatality.
I mean, it would be, yeah.
Like, that's what that was.
If they had Santa in Mortal Kombat, that is the fatality that he would have.
Yeah, that's what they would do. And I was just like, okay. But again, a lot of this just seemed violent for violence sake.
Yes.
Which makes me, I don't know.
Especially that.
Yeah.
That one.
That just felt gratuitous.
Yes.
And especially coming just off of the booby trap sequence, which was pointless and gratuitous. And I don't know. Then Commander Thorpe or whoever shoots Santa like 6 times. And
yep.
Then Grandma Gertrude shows up next to Thorpe, pistol drawn, and I was waiting for her to go, dodge this. It's framed exactly like Trinity shooting that agent in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It is.
I was waiting for it to be like, dodge this. Bam! But Trinity Gertrude shoots Thorpe. Santa's dying. This is so dumb.
How long did it take for him to die?
A while. He and Trudy have a prolonged heart-to-heart, which leads Santa having a heart-to-heart with Linda and Jason. So at this point, Santa dies. Trudy's there. She's crying. Linda and Jason are there. Grandma Gertrude's there. The sister and Bertrude show up. And Trudy's like, no, you can't be dead. I believe in you. I've always believed in you. You're the real Santa. And then Linda's like, I think with what he did and helping us, he might be the real Santa. I believe. And then Jason is like, okay, I guess I believe too. And I'm going, okay, we're losing the magic here, guys. And then Gertrude's just like, yeah, fuck it. You know what? I believe too. And I'm going, you weren't even there. And then Bertrude is like, yeah, and I believe. And I'm like, you don't know what we're talking about. And then the sister's like, I mean, sure, why not? I'll believe. And I'm like, what is happening? You can't just say the words, I believe, and that means you believe. That's not how it works. And every time you clap your hands, an angel gets its wings. That's not how this fucking works.
I believe.
I don't think you believe in anything.
I believe in. Yeah, no, never mind. Fuck it.
Santa's brought back to life. And everyone believes because Santa's real, and he goes back home, and because the sleigh shows up and he leaves, and I went, thank God this movie's over.
Yeah, I checked out after Linda was getting choked out. I checked out, and I kind of just went about my thing. It was go in the kitchen, get something to eat, do some dishes, whatever.
You gave up.
I gave up, and I came back, and I saw from the kitchen I was watching, I saw Santa get shot.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I remember this. And then I'm doing dishes, I'm drying them, and I put them away, and I look over, I'm like, that motherfucker is still laying on the ground. He's been there for 15 minutes. What in the hell is going on?
He dies slower than a mortal man.
It's like Deadpool at the end of Deadpool 2 when he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I see the light. Oh, wait, never mind. No.
That's the sun. Don't look into that.
But that was done well. Anyway.
Thank Christ. The reason for the season. This is mercifully over. All right, Tevis.
Ratings?
Ratings. IMDb 6.7.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes 74%. For a total combined score of 141.
What was Lethal Weapon 3? Rotten Tomato.
Hold on. I got it right here.
60.
There's The Matrix. Lethal Weapon 3. Hold on. IMDb 6.7 for both movies. Rotten Tomatoes, Violent Night 74. Lethal Weapon 3 60.
Okay. That must have been the IMDb that I was thinking of. So I was like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, hey, Violent Night better than Lethal Weapon 3. I don't know if that's accurate, though. I really don't know if that's true.
What's the Guardian say? Or did you find the Guardian?
I do have the Guardian.
You do?
Not to be a Scrooge, but the occasional eye gouge with a tree topper star or a string light garrote only lends a frosty air of resourcefulness to a film with coal for brains. 2 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Ebert.com.
Oh, they fucking loved it.
Largely tedious cinematic lump of coal that tries to stretch its one joke premise out to 101 minutes. 1.5 stars.
Damn.
They hated for Ebert.com to give 1.5.
No
they
shit.
hated this movie.
Damn.
Ooh.
What is your final thoughts, sir? For Violent Night.
I dislike basically everything about this movie.
Oh, about the movie. Okay.
Well, actually, I dislike basically everything. End of statement. And if you know me and or are a longtime listener of the show, you know that's actually a pretty true statement. I just, man. I want to look at the things I did like. Because if we just dwelled on all the stuff I didn't like, we would basically have to just re-talk about the movie, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
The action sequences are this movie's best part. They were crafted with a lot of attention, a lot of creativity. That's what they were trying to sell this movie. Well, I'm sure what they did sell this movie on. Unfortunately, it falls apart a little bit when that pesky plot gets in the way.
Goddamn plot.
Right? It gets in the way.
Get out of here.
We don't want you in this movie. But like the lead up to these sequences just doesn't really work most of the time. So I mean it works, I guess. So the first few it works, but once Santa gets his hammer, that first hammer sequence is, cool. If, like you said, maybe a bit long, maybe a bit dark, visually, not tonally. I don't know though. I'm all for watching Santa bash someone's brains in with a sledgehammer as much as the next person, but like the reasoning behind it needs to be better than what this movie sets up. And I actually really liked David Harbour as Santa. And I liked him as like disillusioned Santa. And I kind of wish this had just been a legitimate, well-made Christmas movie about a disillusioned Santa who finds his way back through the good nature of Trudy and Trudy's belief in him. You could even keep the terrible family and the troubling situation Trudy's in, and she's not sure about her parents, and she wants them to be together and happy and blah, blah, blah. But I honestly wish this had just been a genuine, I guess for lack of a better term, run-of-the-mill standard Christmas movie. Because David Harbour delivers a lot of heart to this role and a surprising amount of warmth. And I kind of just wanted more of that. I don't think, at the end of the day, I wanted David Harbour Santa in an actual Christmas movie, not in Violent Night. And I kind of wish Violent Night just didn't exist.
Okay.
So you know what? Hey, I am totally down for David Harbour reprising the role of Santa in a real Christmas movie. As far as I don't know, like I said, the fight scenes were cool. I think up until the kill squad gets involved, and then at that point, the movie itself had run its course. It needed to end. So, no, this movie is not worth the ticket price, as I'm sure you're all just shocked at this stunning and unforeseen outcome.
I'm shocked like a tree topper to the eye.
Oh, ho, ho.
All right, Violent Night. This movie is an hour and 52 minutes long.
Yeah.
It felt like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Peter Jackson. Damn you, James Cameron. There's my one. Damn fucking Cameron.
This movie is classified as an action comedy. Don't know where they got the comedy part, but whatever. Right from the beginning, I was worried because of the puke thing, as I knew right then where they were going with their comedy. The moment Scrooge takes over Nakatomi Plaza, the home of Gertrude is what I meant to say. That this movie does not hide the fact that it is basically Die Hard with Santa.
Oh, not even, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
not in like a crafted homage-y kind of way, in like a rip-off kind of way.
Kind of, yeah. Oh, God. I liked the one-on-one fight scenes with Santa and the terrorist. I liked the kill squad fight scene in the shed up to a point where I was like, okay, come on, let's wrap it up. We've been here too long. I like David Harbour as Santa. I think he did a really good job. Trudy, the little girl, she was okay.
For being 45.
every other character in this movie sucks. And not like you're supposed. I know you're supposed to hate them, but I hated them for the wrong reasons. Like they were just poorly written, and it's the shock factor of having them drop cuss words here, left and right. Every single character that you're supposed to hate, that's how they get you to hate them, and it irritates the shit out of me. There was a point where I literally, like I said, checked out of this movie, and I was done. I was like, no. So I basically, from the whole chase scene with the snowmobiles up to the final battle with Scrooge, apparently Santa dies. I don't remember. And all the way to the end credits, I was just kind of glancing back and forth from doing mundane house chores.
I mean, they got to get done.
So if you can't take that information and figure out where I stand, there are legitimate moments in this movie that I liked, and I was excited to see it. And I thought, when I sat down at the theater to watch this, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I could feel myself just like sinking into the chair of the theater, because I'm like, oh, this movie, no. But then when you said we wanted to do it for the show, I was like, okay, well, maybe I overreacted to my feelings towards it. Maybe if I watch it again and I kind of know what's coming, I'll have a different thought. No. This movie sucks. I hate it. It could have been so much more.
Yeah.
If they would have focused on not doing the shock factor at every turn. Not every kill has to be, oh my freaking God, look at that. Not every piece of dialogue has to be fuck, cock, sucker, bullshit.
9/11.
Wi-Fi, your grandma white, your Wi-Fi sucks. Bullshit, fuck.
Doesn't Bertrude say, Grandma, your Wi-Fi sucks, dick?
Yeah, he does.
Like, I'm not laughing at the humor of the line. I'm laughing at just how done I am.
Yeah, and it's a lot to take in a little bit of time, and that just totally turned me off of it. And no, this movie is not worth the ticket price. Just watch Die Hard again. And I haven't seen the movie Fat Man with Mel Gibson. Fucking watch that.
Yeah, see, we rented it off Amazon. They're like, what else you might like? Fat Man. I was like, Fat Man. Mel Gibson plays Santa. Done. I'm watching that.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for the fact that it has Mel Gibson, so it's probably better.
Oh, I agree.
And I don't mean Mel Gibson better than David Harbour. I just mean in general. Because I did like David. David Harbour did a good job in this.
I agree. And maybe when they do the sequel.
Wait, no.
There's a sequel in development.
Jesus.
I'll watch it. Hopefully they tone it down just a tad.
I'm fine with the violence where it is. Tighten your script.
Yes.
And I'll be happy.
Tighten your script. Tighten your dialogue. Come up with more clever dialogue than cocksucker all the fucking time. Yeah. Please. There are clever ways to make us hate characters.
Gift of a golden opportunity. That was perfect.
That was perfect. The picture of my birth. That was so fucking good. It was too little too late for me, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, because your first impression, you can't get it back.
Nope. But yeah.
And unfortunately, those characters' first impressions were, if I was on one of the planes during 9/11, don't do that, and kiss me in front of my son. Ugh. Yeah. No. If I had been watching this on TV, like I was flipping through channels, I was like, oh, Violent Night, I'll check that out. And I was watching it from the beginning. As soon as he puked on the bar owner, I'd have changed the channel, never went back. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Yeah. I would have never looked back or thought twice about it. I would have seen that and gone, I've seen all I need to see. And now, having watched the whole movie for the show, that statement is true.
Yeah, I agree.
You get everything you need to know about what this movie is from that opening bar sequence.
Absolutely.
You get David Harbour working his ass off to portray a genuine, not strung out, the burnt out Santa.
And it was great. He had me.
Yeah.
At the bar when he's like, man, maybe this is my last Christmas, and that whole spiel he goes on.
Yeah.
And
about kids are junkies.
Yes.
And even the joke of like, well, hey, can I get another one? Are you driving? I mean, I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work. That was witty. That was fun. It wasn't like I'm laughing out loud, hilarious, but you just went, that's enjoyable. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I ever watch Violent Night, it is the exact opposite of if I ever watch Rob Zombie's Halloween. Where if I watch Halloween, I'm only watching the last 2/3. I'm not watching the Rob Zombie opening.
Yeah.
If I ever watch Violent Night again, Santa goes up the stairs to leave. The bartender's like, "Hey, where are you doing?" She's gonna look up, see him fly. Her eyes are gonna light up, and I'm gonna turn it off.
I agree.
Boom, Christmas movie over.
I agree.
All right. Jesus.
They did, man. They had that opening scene, they had me, and then they immediately puked all over it.
Yeah, and then peed on it, and then pooped on it.
Yeah.
All right. Hat.
Oh, shit. We are doing the hat.
It's hat time.
I forgot.
I don't know whose turn it is.
It's your turn.
All right. Looking in the hat. All right. I got one. Okay.
I don't like the look on your face.
That's just my face, you dick.
I know. That's
you
what I meant.
cocksucker. I know this movie as in like, I remember, I've never seen it, and I can't really give you any hints about it because I don't know anything about it.
Okay, now I'm worried.
I have everyone I've talked to who has seen it speak highly, but and no particular reason, I just didn't see it. Baby Driver.
I don't know what that is.
So I know it's...
No, I do. Okay. I don't know who... Is it Jamie Foxx in that?
Is it Jamie Foxx or Kevin Spacey?
I think both. I mean...
Okay. But it's...
You got Jamie Foxx confused with Kevin Spacey.
No!
They look so similar. Striking.
Jamie Foxx is the black one. What?
Oh my God. That reminds me.
I had no idea.
Have you ever seen Hear No Evil, See No Evil?
Yeah, we've talked about it on the show before. To hell with blind people. Get the hell out of here.
I love when Richard Pryor learns that he's black. What? You mean I'm not white? Oh, shit.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Baby Driver.
So it's like a younger guy who always listens to music because he has something wrong with him.
Oh,
so he always listens to music, but he's like a driver for the mob or some sort of underground thing. He's just like really good at driving.
Yeah, it's got John Hamm, Kevin Spacey.
John Hamm and John Hamm's huge penis.
Huh?
Oh, John Hamm has a monster cock, apparently.
I don't want to know why you know this.
Everyone knows this.
John Bernthal's in that.
Oh, I like John Bernthal.
I do too.
Look up.
I don't want to look up John Hamm's ham.
Look up John Hamm's penis takes him for a walk through Central Park.
Why is my fingers typing that?
Just bring up a newspaper picture.
John Hamm's penis takes its owner out for a... Jesus Christ! So now we know Ham was not his legal last name. He adopted that.
It was bestowed upon him at birth because they were like, "Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, step aside."
God damn.
Also, he shouldn't wear those pants anymore.
No.
Just- Good Lord.
Looks like the fucking Kraken.
You're welcome. Hey, wait, do you remember something called Spermageddon?
Oh, my
That's what
God.
John Hamm calls a Tuesday.
Well, my Google search history is all fucked up now.
I hope you feel properly inadequate. John Hamm, handsome man, famous actor, wealthy, incredibly endowed.
Oh shit!
What are we talking about?
I've never wanted to wish crippling anxiety on somebody so bad.
What does he have to be anxious about?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I can just magically make it happen, like Christmas magic. My Christmas wish. Santa's like, what would you like for Christmas?
I want John Hamm to experience mortality. Just one day, I want John Hamm to experience life as a normal man.
My God.
John Hamm's penis takes its owner for a walk.
Oh, that is amazing.
Whoa, it's borderline horrifying.
God.
He could defoe somebody.
No shit. I bet that thing orders its own Starbucks.
What does that mean?
Well, he has to have two, one for him and one for it.
As it sits in the passenger seat like his cop partner. You could do a buddy cop film of John
Ham and Hog.
Yes, Ham and Hog, and it's just John Hamm. Wait, the penis has a mustache, and the aviators.
Yeah, and a drinking problem because he had to kill a kid by accident.
Not a kid. No,
never mind.
Too far.
Never mind.
Too far. It accidentally slew an entire bachelorette party.
Better.
Back to Baby Driver.
God damn. What are we doing?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
A movie I haven't seen, so I'm looking forward to watching a new movie for the show.
I don't think I have seen it either. Honestly, I don't think I have.
No.
And if I have, I forgot. Shit, I even forgot it existed.
Yeah. So, no, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, I was like, I can't give you a hint because I don't know anything about it.
God damn.
You doing all right? You're going to think about that the rest of the day.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to be in the shower just looking down at yourself going, what's wrong with you? You're never going to be John Hamm.
I'm going to print that picture out and hang it up in the studio. So when he comes on the show, I can be like, will you sign this portrait of yourself?
It's going to be, wait, your art favors the, what I call like the Silent Hill kind of like body dysmorphia, the body horror, pinhead sort of, what genre do you call that?
Weird as shit.
I have concerns that I'm going to look at your art easel and see.
Oh, yeah.
Inspirations of. It's going to be well, never mind.
We have a new Wiener King.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Wiener King is just a vandalism doodle, not like an actual title.
Oh, it is now.
John Hamm.
John Hamm.
He's never going to come on the show if you act this way. He's going to be a guest star, and you're just going to be staring at his lap the whole interview, or the whole time we're talking about whatever.
You can interview John Hamm. I will interview the Hog.
John Hog. Live in studio, Hamm and Hog, everybody. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be on the show.
Shit. That hurts. That hurts.
That's what she said.
No shit. I bet that's not the first time he's heard that.
Oh my. All right. On this horrifying note, everyone, we've been recording a long time and we're getting goofy. Thank you all so much for listening. I am Jake. That's Tevis. We are Ticket Price. This has been 2022's Violent Night. Stay tuned next week as we ring in the new year with Baby Driver. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. Turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our regular episodes or bonus episodes, such as Top 10s and our Sarah and Slies. And as always, in the comments, let us know your favorite moments from this episode, as well as what you think about Violent Night. Let us know if you have bingo. Check out the merch store. Lots of cool things you can get, as well as more on the way. We have a Patreon. Lots of things I'm supposed to plug, and I find this very difficult to remember it all. It's kind of tedious. But, as always, the most important part, thank you all for listening. And be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night.